Pediatric cancer actually started for me when I was about 10 or 11 years old. Tackled a kid one night scrimmaging in football, and he broke his leg. And, was excited to make the tackle until I could hear him screaming on the field. And what we learned is he had a cancerous tumor that had attached to his femur and it weakened the bone. Really, since then, my entire life, I thought there's something you should do here.
On this day, 13 years ago, Chip was in school that morning and within 24 hours was in brain surgery. It happened that fast. He and Bobby love to hunt and fish together. We love that, and he spends a lot of time outside. They thought maybe he had Lyme disease. Things went from 0 to 60 really fast that Tuesday afternoon. MRI straight to the emergency room. Within 99% sure that Chip had medulloblastoma, anaplastic metastatic medulloblastoma, bad brain cancer.
I started letting the people know who needed to know what was going on. Bobby, I've known him since 5th grade. He always ran stadiums, which is going up and down stadium stairs. That was just part of his fitness routine. And I think that I stopped him in his tracks running stadiums. Of course, he was devastated, like everybody was, but didn't know really the context. He just knew that bad brain cancer is bad news. And then we spent the night in diagnostics and all of that stuff. And then the next morning, he was there.
I had a staff meeting on Monday morning. Came in and I said, we're not going to talk about business today. We're going to talk about something I want to do. And that's raise money for kids with cancer.
When he introduced us to Chip, we were able to all see a softer side of Bobby.
Chip was kind of like he was the explosion that made it all kind of happen. We literally talked about it for, maybe an hour. And my chief marketing officer, Ethan Hanneman, said, look, let me take this from here.
It connected with me. It was a chance to make a difference. Once I shared it with my team, we just unlocked the door, and Lendmark being Lendmark, employees and family members and business partners just walked right through it, and we created something immediately. It was really special.
He believed in it, and then he showed us why we should believe in it. And I don't know anybody that could come out of that call and not feel the power of what he was asking us to do. And that was to get behind him, behind his cause. And everybody did it. Every single person at that company has done something in some way to help cure.
I've known Bobby my whole life. Our relationship grew through cancer and through all that. If there's something we needed or something he could do, he's gonna do it any way possible he could do it. There has not been a question in my mind.
Bobby has a way of knowing what's possible before maybe people around him do. And in advance of the meeting, we tried to do some research and put some math together, and we came up with a target of $150,000. And one of Kristen's employees said, well, this is really hard work. Maybe you should think about $50,000. And Bobby's response, I don't know if it's verbatim, but it was darn close, was that would be an abject failure.
What did Bobby say?
If we only raise 50, somebody's getting fired.
Somebody's getting fired. But I just knew whatever Bobby was gonna do was gonna be big. He's gonna do it his way. And at first you might go, I'm not sure. But Bobby's way is usually right.
Here I am. My boss is saying 150. The experts are saying 50 would be a great thing. And 3 months later, we raised 280.
Him climbing those stairs with Bobby on one arm and Ken on the other arm, getting up there just proved that if this kid in a wheelchair can climb those stairs, if we all get together, great things can happen.
Bobby and his leaders, they have a really good way of making this campaign personal. So they've got really strong personal connections to Cure's mission. through Chip Madron and their family, through other families that we've been able to meet in person. When they tell us those stories and they make those connections with us, with all of us across Lendmark, we're able to really feel more passionate about what we're doing and how we're supporting Cure.
Bobby's proximity to Chip and the effect that it had on him, just because he's known him since he was a baby, ignited a passion that galvanized it. That passion and influence has fueled the climb to $1 million, which is now a $10 million goal for pediatric cancer in 10 years.
13 years ago, individualized medicine wasn't available. And that would have changed Chip's course of treatment so much that maybe some of the negative side effects that we experienced, we wouldn't have. It was the best that was available then, but all those drugs have side effects.
Or all those surgeries, or all those therapies, just there's mapping now available that might have decreased the intensity of the surgery required. It was fantastic medicine, but that surgery had an impact on an ability to walk.
Bobby's inspiration was that he had these experiences that he wants to prevent anybody else from experiencing in the future if he can do that. And we felt that if we were successful in those two things with our employee base across the country and anybody that would listen to our story, that the fundraising would take care of itself, that at least awareness has just as much long-term value as the dollars do.
The hugs and the experienced cancer moms and dads that come and counsel, that's important. Gas cards for people to buy gas for their car to get to treatment is important. But none of that matters if we can't improve and develop the new drugs and the new treatments through research. And research is so important. And Cure does both.
It props you up during the fight and works behind the scenes so the next person that gets this down the road might not have to fight as hard.
So has Lendmark made a difference? Yes, because they're
Lendmark and
changing
Cure has
that.
absolutely made a difference. So all the things we know about treating medulloblastoma, there's somebody out there today that doesn't know all that we know because they didn't have to. And that's awesome.
When Bobby speaks, people listen. When Bobby moves, people want to follow. That's just the leader he is. He inspires people.
You're getting Bobby Aiken to wear a tux, and he's not gonna wear his rubbers with mud on him and his camo overalls under that.
Bobby needs to be honored, but I'm sure he's gonna deflect and say it was the people of Lendmark, and it is, and
It
we're
was.
thankful. We're thankful for the people of Lendmark for all that they have done for our family, for Chip, for Cure. It's really an honor to be a part of it.
Takes that passion and influence to get it started.
Passion
out.
and influence, and Bobby's
He
got
don't want
that.
to be recognized for that, I'm sure, but he should be recognized for it.
Thank you. Thank you for opening my eyes to an organization that is so underfunded. Thank you for the opportunity of letting us all at Lendmark be a part of something bigger and being an impact.
That's what the climb is climbing to get to the top and climbing to achieve this objective of wiping out pediatric cancer. We're not finished yet.